So first off, we'll start off on the far left. Everybody's favorite teams, Valorius and Isurus. Freight Train, who do you got?
Oh, dude. Nah, I got to go with Isurus, I guess. You know, they're the name I know. So when it comes down to it, they're the name that one I can pronounce. So, I'll go that way.
All right, Gore.
It's really funny because I'm in the same boat for this one. I remember seeing Isurus play and seeing them do well.
I just know they're a name,
That's why I'm going to lean towards them. The thing that makes me laugh more about this is less that we're going, oh yeah, well, I know that name. That's the one that's going to win. But just because when it comes down to it, these teams don't get shown as much. You don't really see this. I mean, I don't personally go out of my way. I know like Dire Wolves. I know Black Dragons a little bit, and I know Isurus very little. I've never seen Valorius play.
I set the custom to level 1.
Right, you're an idiot. All right, so next game up is Isurus and Black Dragons. The only name I know is Black Dragons.
Real fast, and then we'll figure it out.
So I'm assuming that Black Dragons is the one who wins this.
We're just gonna play this. We're good.
Gore.
I honestly, this one could go up in the air. I think I'm gonna lean towards Isurus only because I've seen LATAM shine a little bit brighter than China that we've seen come out of it. Of course, both of them have been improving like a lot since I remember the first time I watched these guys, and it was fun. They were awesome games. But the skill difference between them and, EU and NA was so big at that time. And I like seeing that close down. And I think that that's going to be kind of the case when we see it going forward. But for this game, I still think that LATAM has a little bit of an advantage. I'm going to go Isurus again.
Right, do you disagree?
No. Isurus, I go with Isurus again. I think they're
all right.
Spot,
so then, oh, wait, nope. Got ahead of myself.
Ahead of yourself.
Next, so not only do we have Isurus and Black Dragons, we have NRG and LG Direwolves. And come on. It's not gonna happen. This is an easy 2-0 for NRG. And if you tell yourself anything else, you're lying to yourself. You're drunk. You're a drug addict. There's no way NRG drops games to the LG Direwolves.
They can drop a game, dude. LG's no joke. Look, FDOT really got mad at us last week saying that they're going to stomp on them and blah, blah, blah. Don't sleep on LG taking maybe a game on them. Like, yeah, maybe. Like, obviously, NRG should win, but maybe. There's hopes.
I want to correct Gormizer here real quick. Black Dragons are not China. They're Brazilian.
Okay, well, I'm still going Isurus.
I'm going to be the dissenter. I'm going to be the contrarian. I think it's Black Dragons because I've seen them play once. So, you guys win 2-1, and I'm just the host, so you guys are the analyst here.
We're about to find out right now. I set the custom. We're good. We'll find out.
All right, so
turning it back.
Realistic, it's NRG, right? Hands down, no real thought. It's NRG. There's no way you have the LG Direwolves taking them.
And a very disappointing sigh, yes, it's NRG. I really want to believe in Direwolves. I really want them to be like, just come forward. And I honestly, I think I said this earlier, my ideal finals would be like Direwolves versus like Black Dragons or Isurus or Valorius, like someone down there, right? It's just not going to happen. There's so many walls in their way. And Direwolves, I think they're going to be good. And I think they might make it a little rough for NRG, in the first game. The first 5 minutes versus 10 minutes, maybe. It's going to be a little shaky as they feel each other out, but I can't, as much as I want to, I just can't, in good faith, tell you to vote for Direwolves in any form or fashion. And I'd have to lean with NRG too.
All right. So that brings us up to when the tournament starts. It'll be Obey and NRG, Luminosity and Rival, Eager and, LATAM team, and then Dignitas and Soar. Why don't you start us off there, Gore?
Well, the first one, obviously the top one, it's Obey and NRG. And I think this is probably, at this point, everything except probably Eager versus Isurus is going to be close games, right? This is when not to throw insults out, but this is when the real nitty gritty Smite starts up. Because while I think Direwolves and NRG can be kind of close, this is when it comes down to how good are your mechanics and your team play to the point where if you make a mistake, the other team's going to tear you apart. And I think that's going to be like just thrown together with Obey versus NRG, because I think it was Alpha Jackal actually who was saying NRG is not going to be a happy team coming into this, and they've been at boot camp, and putting those things together makes them a big danger. But Obey is Obey right now, and I'm still leaning for them because they've been playing insanely, they've been playing strongly, and I mean, especially after talking to Emilzy, like we see them perform exceedingly well throughout the entire split. You hear him, and he's just completely confident in his team. He knows everything that they need to know. Like, I think that going forward, this is going to be a good set, but ultimately, Obey should be able to clutch it out.
All right, I 100% agree. I think Obey has just been playing out of their minds, and I think NRG is just behind the 8-ball coming into this. And it's super hard to just say NRG loses. Like that, my brain doesn't want to say it. Like it doesn't compute that as like a logical sentence. So it's really hard to say that Obey beats NRG and NRG's out, first, second round. Like that's just ludicrous to think of. But I think Obey wins. Freight, do you disagree?
No, Obey takes it in 3. That's just, I think you guys said all the points. I just think it maybe goes to 3 games at best. But Obey will take it, I think.
All right, so next up is going to be Luminosity and Rival. We heard from Alpha Jackal earlier, Rival is super confident heading into this game. And whether that's a matchup that they really like, that's what they like where the meta is, they're just really confident in themselves. I don't know. We can't say. But Rival is riding pretty high after their gauntlet showing. So the question is that going to translate into skill and into a run at the finals? Or is it just kind of, false hope? What do you think, Freight?
I think it's going to be a big bottle of, I can't take it right here, but I think it's going to be a bottle of reality. And then there's going to be a shot glass, and that's going to be the check. You're going against Luminosity. Take your reality check now before you get into there and with your overconfidence and get stomped. This is LG. This isn't a joke. Soar's a good team. Let's not be saying anything negative here, but they lost. Even though they beat NRG, whatever, again, we've kind of downplayed. NRG's is not doing great. I think LG can beat NRG right now, but it's LG. They're going to come prepped. Jeff is 100% focused. I've seen his streams. They're focused. They're not even looking. They're ready, prepared for this match, and they're going to come in ready. And like I said, they better have that reality check set because they're going to be in for it.
Gore, do you disagree that Luminosity is gonna take this one?
I agree. I think it's going to be really close. I think Rival is going to show up again. I think they're going to be very strong, but pretty much exactly what Freight said. When you look at it, Jeff is a beast on LAN. Like, if you ever have an opportunity to go to a LAN and be close enough when Luminosity is playing or whatever team he may be on, I'm assuming he's going to stay on Luminosity for a while, but that guy is just a fountain of information.
Mm-hmm.
And he is the mood for the team. So that's the one thing that I think gives them the advantage. They don't tilt. And while, like Rival, they were talking about it when we talked to Alpha Jackal, NRG, they can tilt, and they tilt hard. And the Luminosity, you can tilt some of the members, but Jeff is like the post that you tie yourself to, no one's going to be able to get too far away. The rope's going to get taut, and he's going to be able to pull him right back in. And that's just the way they work. And I think that because of that, and because their personalities really more than the gameplay, I think Luminosity is going to be able to kind of keep themselves calm and collected, even if things are going wrong, and be able to come out on top.
All right. So there you have it.
Alpha's got his thinking face in there. Love you, Alpha Jackal.
Sorry, Alpha.
100%. I want you to prove me wrong. I want to see your team in the finals. But if there are people voting for FP, I want to, I'm getting the balancing act.
Yeah.
Objective versus subjective.
It's just like saying, voting against NRG, you don't want to do it. But in the case with Obey, you have to. They just playing so strong. But with Luminosity, I just can't bring myself to vote against them. They are such a strong team, and especially at a LAN, that's gonna be a really big matchup. I can't wait to watch that match. That's gonna be a really good match. So,
you'd watch Rival come in and just 2-0 stomp Luminosity, and we'll all look like assholes.
Yeah,
be the first time I have.
Do it.
So
Use this. Use this as fuel. We don't believe in you. Prove us wrong, Alpha. Use this as your get pumped speech. So next up is going to be Eager and Isserus, and we all know
Eager.
Isserus is
Go
going
next.
to wipe
Yeah.
the floor with
Next.
Eager.
Next, Eager. Next game.
Yeah.
Dig versus Soar. Next.
Yeah, that's realistically. Dig and Soar. So, I mean, we talked to Alpha Jackal. He even said that I think a lot of people are sleeping on Team Dignitas, and that's a team that has a lot of strength, and they're a lot of veteran players who are going to show up at this LAN. Gore, do you think that the youth and like the new Soar can take down this team?
This is one of the ones. So when I mentioned the bracket earlier and I said that this is probably one of the hardest things. So Luminosity and Rivals probably going to be one of the harder sets. Dignitas and Soar is the other one. These two teams, especially since we don't really see any crossplay and we've seen Soar kind of rise up and also fall down a little bit. Like it's kind of shaky where they're coming from. I want to say Dignitas is going to win. I think it's going to be a very like hard-earned fight. I think Soar is going to be good. But I do think, the veteranship that you mentioned, like that's going to play probably the biggest role. I think Dignitas has definitely been working their ass off. Soar, probably a little bit more practice, especially now being able to come in with themselves playing on LAN as a team. And I think that's going to give them maybe a little bit of an advantage early on, give them a little bit kind of a bump in confidence going forward. But I just don't see them overall being able to win the set. And I'm going to give it to Dignitas. But really, I think you could flip a coin and be right about this one.
Right?
I just don't think that. I mean, I know we got Jin up. I don't think EU is that far ahead of NA. Like, let me clarify that. I understand that there's EU is a great, league as far as what they got. Their teams, Obey, Dig, Enix, all those guys are amazing teams. But I mean, I don't think they're that far ahead. You guys are like saying that, oh, they're so far ahead of the meta. Again, if you come in with your homework done, anybody can win any game in Smite, especially the first set of LAN. None of these teams are in the gauntlet where it's like a warm-up phase. Let's be real. This is just going to be straight. You're going into the game. You have to win best out of 3. You got to win 2 games. It's going to be tough for anybody. I think in this aspect, Dig does beat Soar. I do think they're a stronger squad. I love Final K to death. He's a great player. He's a friend of mine. But I do think in this aspect that Dig will end up actually taking out Soar. I think most of these quarterfinals, I believe they are, really end up going to 3 games. I mean, I think Obey NRG goes 3. I think Luminosity can go 3. Eager 2-0s, and then this probably goes 3.
Yeah. I love Final K. Friend of the show, and you guys have watched him for a long time now. I can't wait to see the matchup with him and Variety. I feel like that'll be a really good matchup, and I want to see Final K go toe-to-toe and have this big fight and bout and like prove that he can stand toe-to-toe with anybody. But I think I got to give it with you guys. I think that Dignitas just has more of the it factor going into this game, and I think they walk away as the winner. So we get down. We have Obey and Luminosity. Great. Obey and Luminosity. EUNA.
This is tough, man. This is look, I don't know, man. At this point in time, you're talking about 2 really solid teams. I think Obey still has an edge. They're playing so intelligent. They're, again, the one aspect I will say that EU has and the top EU teams like Obey is just the concept and the thought that they're bringing to the game. Emilzy is incredibly intelligent for his age about the game of Smite. We've talked to him twice now. He's always dropping knowledge on us, and that mind is what makes me think that they'll be a little bit more prepared for certain aspects, and they're mentally strong enough to come back from a game down. Now, this is going to be a best of 5 in the semifinals. So if they are down a game or even 2, they have the mental dexterity to still make that comeback and not think about it too much. So I do think this is a tough series, but I think Obey can edge this one out, honestly, just because of where they're at mentally. They are maybe a step above there.
All right, Gore?
I think this one's, it's a best of 5. I think it's 4 games, and it's going to be 3-1 Obey. It's just,
it's pretty much
as much as I hate to go against it, Obey is the stronger team. Like, it's just like, I wanted, there's a fanboy in me screaming, no, you have to vote for Luminosity. And on the other side, there's me saying, look, I want to see good Smite. I'm going to see good Smite. Obey is going to be able to win it, though. Like, they're going to keep it close, but I think Obey has the better kind of end game. I think they have the long game strategy here. and I think they're going to be able to take it and push it forward.
Yeah,
I agree. I think you just can't stop Obey right now. So that leaves Eager and Dignitas. Great. I'll start with you. I'll start with you.
Oh, this will probably actually. I mean, Jong in chat says 3-2. Eager will win it. It probably goes 4 games at least. I don't know if it goes 5 games, but I think Eager pulls this one out. Variety, he's a cool dude, but he's just gonna get laughed at by Divios on LAN, so it's cool.
Well, all right,
Divios
I can tolerate a lot of shit, Freight, but you can't say Divios is gonna laugh at Variety. Variety is a fucking amazing solo laner.
Divios is gonna press 2 on Kuzenbo, and Variety's gonna kill himself.
No.
I'm gonna laugh. He's gonna laugh.
I get. You got to be a fanboy. You got to be a sellout, and you got to be a shill for Eager. But goddamn it, Freight, you got to give respect to Variety. I don't care who you are.
When he builds an all-offensive Thanatos that his only job is to execute targets below a certain threshold, thumbs up. Like, look, just the better matchup goes to Divios in that aspect. I think he's, again, you want to talk about bright minds like a Milzy. I have conversations with Divios that blow my mind away. That kid is on a Milzy's level when it comes to smite and intelligence and the way he breaks matchups down. I'm telling you, the dude is on another level, and he brings that aspect to the team just like a Milzy really does as far as a thought process and the way of looking at it. You have a Roar that has it. I just think this ends up going Eager's way regardless, because they're mentally prepared and they're ready to go, that they're not going to be worried about it.
Didn't Eager and Obey play at the SWC?
Yeah, it was the semifinals.
Yeah, it was semifinals. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the solo laner for Obey at the time was Variety, right?
It was. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And Divios got his babyface ass spanked by Variety in that matchup.
Spanked?
He got spanked.
He didn't get spanked.
He got spanked.
Where's the spanking? Show me clips of a spanking that isn't a 3-man rotation or something like that. Like,
he was also on a Terra
never got
in
wrecked.
the greatest decision of Eager at that tournament.
When somebody's playing a Guardian the solo lane, 2 or 3 people, of course, are going to, like, regardless of how good of a player you are, they're not playing that for the early game kill. Like, Divios isn't playing that for the kills. Divios is playing that to sit there and bring it to the late game. Like you saw the one fight in against what's-his-face earlier in the SPL where he saves best on Zeus because he's got a Terra. He's got the heal. That's what he's playing it for. He's not playing it for the lane. If he gets a kill in the lane, that's just bonus for him. It's not that aspect. I mean, him losing a little bit of tower or dying one time isn't even losing the lane. He's fine with all that.
I don't think you're giving Variety enough credit, and credit is due for what everything he's done
what he
since
did by building
Worlds?
offensive Thanatos and then dying over and over again because he couldn't execute targets. I'm giving him credit. Giving him the credit.
There's no credit. Right. I can't do that right now. So obviously you got Eager, you got your little pipe dream. Gore, what do you got?
I think this set goes to 5 games. I think the dig is going to be strong, and I think they're going to be able to show up, and I think they're going to be feeling it after being able to come out on top of SOAR, and I think they're a strong team. But I think in that final game, Eager closes it out. Unless they do something kind of akin to, like, honestly, what I would say happened at Worlds, where it seems like they pick something that didn't work, and then they seem to continue picking it even though it's not working out because the other team kind of figured out, okay, if we take care of that, we don't have to worry about the rest of the team. And that was the Terra on Divios. Once Obey figured out that they could take that apart, that's all they did the rest of the game. They just kept putting him down, and there wasn't anything Eager could do about it. And they eventually got themselves ahead, and they were kind of able to do it. And then the next game, Eager repicked the Terra, and the same thing kind of happened, and it just never worked out the way they wanted it to. I think as long as they kind of learned from that, and I think they did, I think going into that 5th game, it's going to be kind of a coin toss, but I think Eager should overall be stronger, and I'm really excited to see the finals because of it.
Yeah, I'm super excited to watch this matchup. I think it's going to be a great matchup across the board. But for reasons different than from what Freight has said, I got to lean towards Eager just because what they've been doing in the online stage so far, how they showed up at the last LAN at SWC, I feel like Eager's just going to be. I feel like Eager's just going to be another force. They're gonna try to develop a meta, and they're gonna go for it. I mean, that's that.
They already developed it, man. I'm telling you, like these guys are ready. They've got picks and bans ready, just like all teams should. But Eager isn't a team that's gonna. They understand not to look too far ahead. So yeah, they're gonna take Isra seriously. But I think they understand that they're probably going to be playing Dig. And they'll have a game plan for it, and they'll be ready to go this time around. And Worlds is a Worlds thing. It happened. Whatever. Divios and Variety ended up matching up in a lane, and it didn't necessarily go Divios' way right away, but that's the Guardian and the solo lane overall as far as that goes. I just think that, you got players on Eager that are just a little bit better than the players on Dig as far as even the other roles. Even if you want to call Variety the best solo laner. Like, regardless, I think Eager still has an edge on some of the other matchups.
Right, and this is all assuming that Eager kind of comes in the same way that they came into Worlds. And that's not necessarily going to be true. I mean, a whole season changed and, everything like that. So this is all assuming that they do come in and have this idea, have something in their back pocket that's going to change up the whole event like they did last time. And if that happens, I think this is definitely the matchup we get. But if that doesn't happen, I think Eager Dignitas is a matchup that could go either way at that point. I think if Eager doesn't come in as strong as they need to, Dignitas can pick them off. But realistically, the way things are being played right now, our finals matchup is going to be Obey and Eager. And this is a really hard matchup for me to really say, because either way, I feel like I'm being a fan of one of the teams. I'll just get mine out there. I think Obey is going to come in. I think Obey has been playing at an ungodly, otherworld, out of this league level, and I think that Eager just doesn't have a response for that. I think the nature of Emilzy and Ataraxia and everybody on that squad, I think that squad is just it's an all-star squad, and they're not going to be able to be put down by Eager. Gore, I saw you kind of nodding your head, and what do you got to say?
I don't know. I know it's a best of 5. I don't know if Eager's going to be able to pull out a game or 2, but I don't think they're going to find 3 wins. Like there's no way that they can find 3 wins for me. Obey, like you said, they've just been playing out of their world. I think right now, even on their best day, even getting like the best picks they can, I feel like Obey has this kind of cognizance going like in the back of their minds. They just know what to do and they know how to handle it. And like, even if you pull something that's full counter matchups, they seem to be able to kind of take that in stride and turn it around. And I think that right now they're the strongest team in the world. I think that them picking up Emilzy was probably one of the better things they could have done. And kind of like, I mean, even like with the changes we saw after Worlds, I think they've only improved. And I think they're going to be able to close this one out and win the entire thing.
All right. So, Freight, do you pick Eager here?
I mean, yeah. All right. So, versus the all right, I'm an Eager community manager, blah, 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 blah. Fuck all that shit. Okay? I don't really care. Let's put all that out the window. When it comes down to it, these are I said Devios' mind is great. I said Emilzy's mind is great. These are 2 teams that, if this ends up being the finals, is going to be one of the more entertaining finals that you will watch in Smite, and one of the more entertaining 5-game sets you will watch. Regardless of, again, if you're an Eager fan or an Obey fan, if you just like Smite and good competitive games, this is going to be a series you're going to want to watch, obviously. I think it goes 5 games. Really, it's going to be the team that kept Plan C available. Because if you're using, obviously, Eager doesn't necessarily have to use Plan A against Isris necessarily, but if Plan A or B starts getting noticed by either team and that starts getting banned within their land meta, it's going to be whoever makes the best adaptation. I am hopeful that Aurora, Devios, and the best are able to come up with some sort of plan to really fix, make that work as far as the draft goes, and come up with a composition that is going to surprise Obey. Again, the Anubis pick at Worlds was a surprise. It did its job. The Anubis wasn't necessarily the issue there, but can they come up with something else that's going to surprise, and can they execute it a little bit cleaner? That's going to be the question. If they can do that, Eager wins. If not, Obey wins. I still think it goes 5 games. I got to obviously hope that Eager can make the adjustments with their Plan C if it gets to that point. But this is going to be who brings who brings the most homework completed, pretty much. That's really what it comes down to.
All right. So what final answer here, Freight?
I think, again, like I said, I got to go Eager. I got to think, obviously, Eager's going to go ahead and take it. But if it ends up being that Eager is repeating, like Gore said, if they get into a strategy where they're repeating the same pick and they're repeating the same bans after losing a game and it doesn't work out, then Obey obviously takes it probably in 4 or 5 games. But if Eager can manage to surprise Obey once here and get something going and come up with that, again, if that siege strategy will work, I think they can surprise Obey and end up taking advantage of it and really pushing it to 5 games and probably taking the win.
All right, so there you go. We have Gore saying Obey takes it in 5. We say Freight says that Eager takes it in 5. I got to side with Gore. I think Obey takes it in 5. I think this will be one of the greatest matchups for Smite we've seen in a long time. Sure. It has the potential that to turn up that way. Obviously, things happen. Doesn't always go doesn't live up to the hype, but I feel like this is a game that can. This is a set that will go the distance. So there you have it. That's it for our show. That's it for season 1 of Retake SPL. I want to thank you guys for showing up every night and supporting us and letting us have this show. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here.
Whoa, I thought it was because of me and Gore you wouldn't be here.
Well, that too. I mean, I could get super mushy-gushy.
The viewers are obviously, we love them.
Right, I get super mushy and gushy. I wouldn't be able to be here without you two. You guys are a huge part of the show, and I know, Freight, we give you a lot of shit on this show. Some of it deserved, a lot of it not deserved. But, it's been a great time. Hope you guys enjoy this. We're gonna be taking a break until the start of the summer split. I'm gonna be down in Atlanta as an intern for High Res during that time, so things might take a bit of a difference. Things that are gonna be different right off the bat. We're gonna change our format for interviews to a one-on-one. We've got new intro and outro stuff. And I might be doing some more I might be doing live interviews. So just keep an eye on that. I'll be doing some more work with high-res employees now that I'll be down there. So, again, thank you, everybody, for showing up. And for EGF, we are Retake SPL. I'm LHS. He's Freight Train. He's Gore Miser. And we'll see you guys at the next season. Goodbye.